I know that a lot of you have been wondering if there is a connection between Meghan and Prince Andrew. So I'm going to be looking at this in today's video. I'm going to be showing you the things that I have spotted. Some of it is quite credible evidence. I'm also going to link you to the video that I did quite a while ago where I was sent some very interesting information in regards to this possible connection. Again, I have to reiterate, these are my own personal thoughts and opinions based on my professional knowledge as a therapist and also just, well, me. So if you want to join in this video and do a deep dive into some of the things that I find in relation to the royal family, most of the time Harry and Meghan, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and let's dive right in. So it is that time before we get going where I ask you to grab your drink of choice, sit back, relax, drop it in the comments what you were drinking, and also asking you, my wonderful subscribers here, to send in your videos of what you're doing. And all you need to do is do a video that's about a minute long. You can do it however you like, be as creative as you like. You can fast forward this bit if you do not like it, but it's staying. And just grab your drink of choice, add a little something something, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And here is the next one, so let's give it some love, and I'll see you in a minute.
Hi everybody. This year Mama Bird has made her nest here outside of our house, and we are enjoying watching her. Anyway, her drink of choice is water, which we have out here for her. My drink of choice is coffee. I'm not going to add anything because it's still morning, but go ahead and add something to your drink because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right, take care.
So I do get a lot of comments, emails, etc. in regards to the potential link, if there is one, between Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew. Now, I think we can all say with a surety that Prince Andrew has and was known as being a bit of a player. He liked to be surrounded with young, beautiful women. And so quite some time ago, I was sent some information, and I'm going to put the link to that video in the description box below, where I have done a video on the possible connection between Prince Andrew and Meghan Markle. But someone sent me a bit of footage which I hadn't picked up on. And I feel that this does give an extra bit of weight to the plausibility of there being a connection. Now, when I was sent this information, whenever I'm sent information, I ask questions, because I don't just take something and go, oh, well, that must be true. I get things wrong, as you know, because I did in the last video, but I try to bring here the truth. I don't always have the time and the resources to do lots of research. There are some fantastic channels out there that do really, really credible research. The Royal Grift, Murky Meg, they do, is it Kelp Views? HG Tudor's another one. Apologies if I'm missing any out that are really good, but there are some really, really good. Oh, the Sidley twins. The Sidley twins as well are very, very good at finding some really credible sort of research into what they're doing. And I think that this is collectively what we're all trying to do. So even though mine is sort of more based around behavior, sort of looking at their body language, behavior, etc. So, I think that when we're all collectively doing these little bits, you put them all together, we're finding some great stuff. So with this, I got this bit of footage and I scrutinized it. So I'm going to put it up here, and I will do the voiceover, because I know that some of you do like me talking as much as the captions. And like I say, drop it in the comments what you think. But I feel, given the fact that, well, you know what, let's do the footage, and then we'll come back and chat about it in a minute. So here it is now.
So I'm just going to show you the full bit of footage so you can see this interaction. She's sort of smiling, and then what that interaction, and now I'm going to do it side by side so you can see here that when he goes to move over, she's smiling, that kind of fake smile. Watch, yeah, she literally bites her lip, and it's very, very apparent. And here I've slowed it down so you can really see. As he goes to move towards her, she has a literal reaction. She bites her lip. She looks towards him. It's like real side eye glance, but she's definitely looking at him. Turns away, and then lifts her chin, almost like squeezes her sort of cheeks together, and it's a very defiant, and that's when you expose your neck like that, that's very sort of defiant, I'm better than you type of attitude. But notice how she was smiling before, she stops smiling, and then she then goes back to smiling again. And I'm just going to show you the other bit again, but show you where she puts her arms in front of herself in a defensive pose. So it's like she's consciously acting as if she doesn't care, but her body language goes completely the opposite, where she goes into this protection, where she puts her arms in front of herself, and that's a subconscious bodily reaction, where she's protecting herself in a sense. So then there's not an alignment there. It's like consciously she's like, I don't care, but subconsciously, oh, she cares. So, but yeah, to me, this was very, very apparent, and it shows there's an issue there.
So as you can see, this to me is very, very unusual behavior. If, say, you've just come into this family, because this was not long really in the great scheme of things, because this is obviously back when Prince Andrew was on the balcony. As we now know, he's not. You can, you can almost see this repelling that Meghan does. She shuffles towards Harry. Now, it's not just, again, it's always a collective. So it's not just the shuffling that she does. Watch how she almost kind of does that with her mouth. It's all, and she sort of lifts her, it's almost like a, you know, almost like looking, it's like a looking down on you, like I'm not bothered, and you know, it's like this air of superiority. And that's a defensive move by Meghan. And then it's coupled with the fact that she then puts her hands in front of her, which is, again, it's a protective, defensive move. This is unusual if, say, you've just come into the family and there's no issues in respect to that. Now, okay, we could argue the fact that perhaps she's had a run-in with, say, Prince Andrew. But given that all of these other things have been coming out, and not only that, when the court case was, is it court case, or when it was, Virginia Giuffre was suing Prince Andrew, I believe. My theories on that, now I never, ever, ever want to shame somebody, but I do think it's naive to feel that we should automatically believe somebody just because they say something. This is why evidence, facts and evidence are crucial. There was a lot of information that was coming out around Virginia Giuffre that gave pause for whether or not what she said about Prince Andrew was true. Now, I'm not denying that Prince Andrew was shady. Let's put it that way. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I've heard and read enough to know that he potentially, that he was, like I said, well, we'll just put it in the term of ladies' man, but we know it's probably a little bit shadier than that, possibly. But I find it difficult when money's involved, due to the fact when I've worked with clients and going through this myself, I find different circumstances, but I find it difficult to believe that if you've gone through something like this, that a payoff would be enough. I don't know. I'm going by how I feel and people that I've worked with. If someone had said to me, we won't bother bringing this person to court or having them punished, but you can have X amount of millions from them, would I say yes? And I actually don't think I would, because when you have gone through something, and I apologize if this is triggering for some of you, there will be a trigger warning. I'm saying this, but it would have already gone up. When you have gone through something like this, it's life-changing. It's not to say that you cannot build your life and live your life, but it is life-changing. You are never the same person as you were before this situation happened. That person takes something from you that you can never get back. And I don't feel any amount of money could help that. Yes, money can make you feel comfortable and all of those things, but if you truly want to heal, you've got to work through that. You've got to really heal on a deep level. If you're doing things superficially to hide from the pain, mask the pain, it's not going to change anything, and eventually it will come back, and no amount of money is going to change that. There are more riches in healing from something where it does not hold you back, it does not keep you in fear, so you're not able to live your life. And you can have all the money in the world, but if you're living in fear, what good is that? And I feel, just from my opinion, and given that a lot of things have sort of come out, that I don't know if, did she possibly have a connection with Andrew? Yes. But did what happened happen? I'm not sure I believe that. And I dislike the fact that I feel like I'm saying that, because I think for somebody, if you're going to make something up like that, then there are serious issues there. But yeah, so anyway, before I sort of get myself into deep water and I'm going to kind of forget that bit now and move on to Meghan. So the fact that when this was coming out, there was an article, and it was interesting that really got kind of it went nowhere. I mean, it came out, a reporter said that, and I think I've got the screenshots. If I have, I'm going to put it here. But the reporter said that Meghan Markle was going to be called as a witness for Virginia Giuffre, because she had a connection, or a close relationship, or a close connection with Prince Andrew. There were things that she knew, that she could give an insight into what is going on. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you are somebody that has just come into the royal family and, by Meghan's own words, knew nothing about them, how have you suddenly, because it's not like, well, she's now in the royal family and we're going to call her as a witness, because I'm not being funny, there's been plenty of people that have been in the royal family that are no longer in the royal family, that have dated one of them, etc. So why Meghan? And the fact was, she has I think a close relationship or a close connection or something like that to him. That's very odd wording for somebody who allegedly didn't know anything about them. Now, in this video that I did a while ago now, I spoke about why I believed then the connection sort of happened and what I think was going on. And I will reiterate this. And again, I have to say, this is just my personal opinion, given what I believe and what I know professionally and personally. So yes, there are photos that have come out in regards to Meghan on a yacht. Some of those I do not believe are true. Some of them I do. There's one in particular that looks like it's her and Prince Andrew is on this yacht. Now, I don't believe that's her. I'm always going to try and bring, like I say, the truth. And if there are things that are coming out where people want it to be true, that doesn't mean it is. Now, I'm not saying that she wasn't, because I actually do believe that she did work in this industry.
So I was sent this was a while back, and so I'm going to read it here. So just in case for anyone that struggles to see the writing on this, it says, I can only say what is in the public domain, and the name of this person has been crossed out, who was a yacht boy himself, said that MM was a yacht girl, and there are photos of her and Andrew together on the web. The Markles lawyers have done a good job of paying and getting as much deleted as possible. One thing that makes me believe that yes, MM was a yacht woman is that Virginia Roberts Giuffre lawyers wanted to subpoena Meghan Markle as a witness. So if MM had not been on Epstein's yacht at the same time as Andrew, why do you think Virginia's lawyers wanted MM to be grilled as a witness? In my opinion, the royal family have said Virginia Roberts Giuffre have paid Virginia Roberts out of court to stop further scandal about MM's sordid past life, but that is only my humble opinion. If you research, you will find the evidence that Virginia's lawyers wanted to subpoena MM. So not only does this person clarify that, but this also goes to the footage that the information that I've just put up, which shows that's true, but also that goes with the information that was sent to me with more detail, and it's the same name. So yes, I believe this is true.
Well, a lot of young women who were trying to make it or trying to find somebody rich would do this, and I'm not criticizing what their choices are. You know, I don't know these other people, and I do not know what has led them to decide to do that, and I never would criticize that choice because I'm not them and I don't know. But there is that connection there. Now, what I was told was that Meghan was one of the people that I'm just going to say PA, because just in case, was drawn to, and he did have relations with her, allegedly. And I'm sorry that I have to say it this way, but YouTube flag videos. And being the context, I feel like I do have to be very, very careful. So that's why I'm going to constantly reiterate the fact that this is allegedly, this is my opinion. And as much as I know that might annoy you all, I have to be very careful because I do not want to lose my channel. So so there is a connection there. And I was sent some very, very credible information and to show that this was, it was there. And what potentially happened was that M did a similar thing to what we believe that she did with Harry, that she pretended to be, or she said she was pregnant with his child. It was at this point that he ghosted her, that he didn't want anything to do with her, and he stopped taking calls, and he literally just, he ghosted her. Now, it was around this time that allegedly M was then contacting Sarah Ferguson, trying to say to her that she is pregnant. And again, this was shut down. So they literally shut all doors. So there was nowhere she could go with this. What happened after that, I do not know. But it does make sense to me that this then opened the door, because with the fact that I believe that Meghan is a narcissist, it then opened the door for her to get revenge, which is what we know. We know that narcissists do not like to be told no. They do not like to be ignored, and they will go all out to create revenge. And then all of a sudden we have that she suddenly says that she knows nothing about the royal family when she met Harry. Now, I have done various videos, and other people have too, where it's shown that she has been, in some ways, I don't want to say the word stalking, but I feel like there is an element of that, following Harry around, and there's been some evidence to show that she actually met up with him in 2015. So I think that she's made it a ploy to find him. Now, probably at that time he was in the relationship that he was in, so it was a no-go. But as soon as then she found out he was single, it was then orchestrated by, I believe at the time, Marcus Anderson, to set this up. But what was very strange to me, which got my little spidey senses tingling, was when she said that she was friends with, was it Eugenie or Beatrice? And then the other thing that she said was that Sarah Ferguson helped her curtsy, showed her how to do it, and was really supportive, and they'd gone for tea. And yet when Sarah Ferguson then did an interview, she said that she hardly knew Meghan. She didn't really know her. So what I think, which is what Meghan has done all the way along, if you watch her interviews, Meghan drops things in that are almost veiled threats. To want people on the surface, it's just a conversation. But to someone like Meghan, it's not, because it's plausible deniability. It's like, oh yeah, no, I didn't really say that, or oh no, I didn't mean it that way. But when she spoke about the fact that she was friends with and I forget, and I apologize, Eugenie or Beatrice, then why would you then say you knew nothing about the royal family? Because surely if you are friends with somebody of that status, you would then know about the royal family. And so what I think, and then obviously they're name dropping Sarah Ferguson, saying, oh, she was really supportive, we went for tea. And I think that was her threat in a way of dropping things in to make it seem more credible in her building this relationship with the royal family. And then in a way saying, you can't say anything, because if you do, I know stuff about Andrew. And I think this is one of the things that started it off with her. Because like I said, why would they be bringing her into a court case, or where Virginia Giuffre is suing Prince Andrew? Why would Meghan's name be mentioned? And then not long after that, it was shut down. Now, okay, there might be information that I haven't found and I'm not privy to. And I do believe, because this was around coming up to the Jubilee, so I do feel that the Queen probably wanted this shut down. But I do wonder if there was an element of they did not want Meghan to be called to the stand. Because not only would it then expose aspects of Prince Andrew's behaviour, but it would also expose Meghan. This would be quite damning for her. So, and we know that they have done a lot of hiding this evidence of her past. There's been a lot of scrubbing off the internet, etc. So I wonder if this was what was happening, because you can see by this body language that I've just shown you in that video, she's almost repelled by him, and she has this like air of sort of superiority when he sort of walks towards her. I think that it started, and like I've said in this, I think it started with him. I think she wanted to secure herself a rich man, and I believe that she tried to infiltrate with him and secure that through a pregnancy. I'm not saying that she wanted to be in the royal family or even marry Prince Andrew, but I think financially she thought if she possibly got pregnant, then she was going to get money for life, so to speak. Now, whether or not she really was, I don't know. But it's possible that she was, or it's possible that this was also a lie, because I do feel that this is what happened with Harry. And I've said that before when I've spoken about the engagement, how it seemed it's all very rushed. And Meghan is one of these people, like a lot of narcissists, they want to secure you very quickly. When I was with mine, the love bombing was so extreme that it was dazzling almost. And And even though looking back on it now, I did see it quite quickly, but not quick enough. And I moved in with him within a matter of months, because the way it was kind of presented was this wonderful, exciting ride of, you know, this guy was amazing. It was like he was everything I thought that I wanted in somebody. And and it really was, as soon as I moved in, it started to change. And he would flip back and forth. There would be the gaslighting. There would be elements of cruel behavior, controlling behavior. And like most, you know, most people don't necessarily always take that from somebody. And I certainly didn't. And I started challenging him and saying no. And then I would get sort of the silent treatment and being punished. So the fact that I moved in very quickly isn't, and I look back on that now and I think, what was I thinking? But at the time, I clearly wasn't, and it was just so all encompassing, and I felt like I was on this wonderful ride. And I imagine that to some degree, Harry has possibly felt that way with her. She's probably, in the beginning, she was outgoing. She was everything that he felt that he wanted in a woman. And so she needed to move this very, very quickly. But the difference being with Harry is that he gets bored. And I think that we've seen that a lot of the time. So you have to have something quite specific for Harry to stay. And I believe with Meghan that she didn't quite have it. And that's why she had to come up with something to secure him. And in my opinion, the only two things really that I can think of is a pregnancy that wasn't true, or some form of leverage. And that could have been the stuff with Andrew. That could have been, because like I say, when she was doing this engagement interview and she was dropping in about how, you know, that her and like say again, Eugenie or Beatrice were besties almost, that was weird to me, because you wouldn't then kind of go, yeah, I didn't know anything about the family. And then their story changed so many times. Like, we were set up on a blind date, then it was, oh, we met on Instagram, and it was just weird. The whole thing was weird. But they then said, oh yeah, Fergie was, you know, helping me. And then Fergie does an interview. She's like, oh, I don't really know her, you know, not really met. It's like, well, did you go for tea then, or did you not? So yes, I do feel, if I'm going to be honest, I do feel there is a connection there. And I do feel that this has been orchestrated by her to enact revenge and to get what she wanted. The only thing now is that it's failing. So before I get into the next thing, it is that time where I do the Bubble member shout out. So here's the new one. So I also want to say thank you so much for the people that have wished. I put it up on Instagram, but my lovely boy Tristan, it was his birthday yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? 26th. And so he was 26 years old. Wow, where does the time go? So yeah, so he had a great birthday. He's sort of, they've got a camper van and they're traveling around Australia and loving it. So yeah, so he's had a great day. So thank you to all of the people who wished him happy birthday. So that being said, that's it from me. I will see you in the next video. So as always, look after yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. If you want to support me, you can, but it is not obligatory. Go into the description box and you will see that you can become a member if you so choose. You can treat me to a cuppa if you so choose. There's my Amazon wish list there. But again, always look after yourself first and foremost, because it's not obligatory and doesn't take away from what the videos that I do here. If you haven't heard from me and you've sent me something, please get in contact, because recently I had a situation where some lovely lady had sent me something and I hadn't responded to her, and my fault completely. And so if you are watching this, you know who you are, and you know I am deeply sorry, and please always get in touch with me if you haven't heard from me, because I do want to say thank you to all of you personally, but you don't always leave your emails, or sometimes, unfortunately, like in this case, I misplaced the email. So thank you so much to all of you for your generosity and kindness. It really is appreciated, and I love you all for it. So I will see you very soon in the next video. Take care as always. I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye.